Hello everyone, it's Rick back again with a new chapter. I'm gonna start covering the games that I played in Open Famalicão, Open Lessa, and tomorrow I'm gonna go into a tournament, Chess Open, Maya Chess Open, the biggest tournament probably in Portugal, and I'm very excited for it. But yeah, um, today, as promised, I will bring you one more video before I go into the tournament tomorrow. And yeah, the first round I played against a zero elo opponent, like a little kid, and I wanted to show that game. I wanted to show all the games, but for some reason, I lost the paper and the moves, so I can't really show you guys that. So I won that game pretty comfortably. In the second round, I got paired against Ricardo Marques, which is a very strong player, rated about 1991. Yeah, let's see how the game went. So this is also like I think the second highest rated opponent that I've ever played. So I was very excited for the opportunity to play against such a strong player. So unlike most of the games that you've seen before, I started with d4, and you win knight f6, and now I win knight c3. So yeah, it's the first time that I'm playing this opening. Of course, my idea is to go into a Jobava London, which I played throughout these two tournaments that I played in the last couple of weeks. But yeah, here went d6. So of course I'm not gonna go bishop f4. He goes into a perk, so I just take the center with e4. And here he surprised me with this move c6. So this is called the check perk. And yeah, it's very uncommon, but I've seen it quite a few times in my online games before. And yeah, I didn't really know what I wanted to do here, but I kind of knew from analyzing, because like I struggled a lot against this specific opening variation, and I know that the whole idea of them is they want to go quick queen a5, put pressure on e4, pin the knight, get an e5 in, and there's a lot of ways to play this position, but I felt like after analyze with the engine pretty deeply, and I thought that I ended up reaching the conclusion that like White is very comfortable when he plays like f4 setups, f4 in the knight f3, and gain as much space as he can. But I didn't. I like f4 for me just seems risky if you don't know exactly what to do after that, and yeah, I wasn't really feeling f4, so I just played a4, which is a very weird move. But you know, I kind of wanted to stop b5, which is also a plan, and honestly, I was just curious to see his reaction to a4, because I feel like a4 is not probably the best move ever and uncommon, and I just was like, okay, a4 stops b5, gains some space on the queen side. It can't be losing, right? So why not? Then he went queen a5, and here my idea was to go queen d3, which, yeah, the computer doesn't like at all. It says that I lost all my opening advantage if black plays knight a6. Okay, the idea is simple: knight a6, knight b4. Yeah, during the game I didn't even consider that. I just wanted to defend the pawn. And yeah, my idea was to just get a quick bishop d2, develop the rest of my pieces, maybe bring the queen into the king side, play more aggressive. But yeah, he played e5, which, yeah, reasonable as well. I played bishop d2, breaking the pin, and he played queen c7, which I was pretty happy to see that, because I mean, I didn't feel any pressure after he just came with the queen to a5, then to go back to c7. I didn't really think he accomplished much with that. He just lost a bunch of tempo. But I mean, maybe you can argue that he made me play a4, but I think a4 is a reasonable move, even if he didn't, just to stop b5, right? So whatever. I went knight f3. He went bishop e7, bishop e2, castles, castles. Pretty standard so far. Yeah, it's just equal, just zeros in the end. He went rook e8. I went h3 to stop bishop g4. You went knight bd7. I went bishop e3, and you went knight f8. Which, yeah, I get it, is rerouting the pieces to the king side to start an attack. Pretty nice. And yeah, I think I had a somewhat of a longer thing because in the end, yeah, like my queen to d3 was objectively a bad move because now my queen is very weirdly placed, kind of in the way of my pieces, and I would be way better off with the queen on d1 and the bishop on d3. But you know, mistakes were made, and I definitely next time that I'll get a position like that, I'll consider twice if I really want to play queen d3. But yeah, I went queen c4 with the idea of just getting my queen out of the way. On bishop e6, just d5, and yeah, I thought that it was a decent move also. Maybe to challenge his queen in this file, and let's see. And here it's the funny story. Here, and this is true. You might say, "Oh my God, that's ridiculous. How is that possible?" But I had a long think. Before the like during the games, I'm nervous. I'm kind of excited, nervous, all those emotions, and I tend to like if I play a 3-4 hour game, I tend to go to the bathroom like 3 times at least. To piss. And yeah, I just played queen c4 and I went to the bathroom. When I came back, this was the position on the board. And honestly, I totally forgot the fact that he took the pawn. I thought, oh, interesting. He played knight e4, so when I recapture with the knight, he gets a fork. And I was like, okay. But I didn't realize that he took the pawn on e4. That's like ridiculous. Like, I swear on everything, like, I didn't realize when I came to the board that he took the pawn. Then that's so bad. Like, oh my god, bro. Like, I can't explain how cringe and how like noob, how bad that is. Like, come on, bro. I made a note. I have like a book, a notebook where I keep some notes to myself for future tournaments, just advice and some psychological things and mindsets and stuff like that before the games to read to be put myself in a good mind state. And definitely I wrote like, bro, if we're gonna go to the bathroom, bro, at least memorize the position so that this doesn't happen again. So I really thought that he didn't take a pawn. So I just played d5 because I thought, okay, it's nice. I mean, just challenging this knight. If he takes, I take his queen, so he can't take. I thought, okay, it's good. Of course, I didn't want to take the knight because then he gets d5, and I felt like that was bad. Blah blah blah. Then I just didn't realize that he even like just took one, and like this is fine because if I take the knight, he goes d5. Okay, I have to go back, and probably what he goes here, I go here. I don't know. He might go here. I don't know. The best maybe here to not get. No, it's the rook is hanging, so I guess here it's fine, and it's completely equal. I mean, he equalized, and yeah, it's just a normal position, and yeah, I just thought that I had better than this. Ridiculous. Ridiculous, just ridiculous, honestly. and I played d5. So I'm completely worse. I'm completely losing now. Objectively, towards the engine already says -2. So like I basically just got a losing position because I went to the bathroom and I forgot that the position, and I forgot that he just took a pawn, and like that's just ridiculous. I can't explain how something like that happens. I'm just bad. I guess that's just ridiculous, honestly. But that's a true story, and probably I won't forget it, so I won't make the same mistake before going to the bathroom. Just memorize every single thing, or just ask your opponent what he played. Although I feel like I don't like doing that because if you go to the bathroom, you should at least know the position before. But that's whatever. That's already politics, so let's not get into this. It's already 10 minutes and we barely covered any of the game. Sorry, guys. Just went on a ramble. So he took the knight on c3, took with the knight, took with the queen, the knight, and he played knight g6. I just took. Rook d1, rook f2 d1, bishop e6. He has a fantastic position, just up a pawn with a big center. I mean, yeah, I'm just, whatever. And here I just thought, okay, you know, I thought, okay, let's maybe try to trade some pieces because he has like his pieces are very good. I am a little bit lacking space, so I just wanna trade some pieces. Of course, he can't go d5 because then I get to takes in the pin on the queen. So I thought, okay, let's trade some pieces and nice. So we played rook b8. I played bishop takes e6, played f takes e6. I mean, look at this center, man. Even though he has double pawns, I mean, that center, it's gonna be hard to break. So I went for more pieces just because, like, I thought that, okay, like, in my honest opinion, I'll say it again because you have to mention this type of stuff for the moves that I'm making. I thought, okay, bishop g5, I'm just gonna trade another set of pieces. Why? Because, I mean, it's just better, and maybe material is equal, and in the end game those double pawns and stuff like that will be easy to target. My structure is better, I would say, just because of those double pawns and more islands. But yeah, he just trades normally because, like, okay, I mean, I'm just up a pawn and I'll just trade because why not, right? And here I played b3. He played e4. My knight is kind of trapped, so I had to play. I played just h4. He took. I took. With the I played queen h3. He played queen f4, and here I took the pawn. Here I was very excited because I was like, oh my god, I just took back the pawn. It's nice. Like, this position is sharp. Blah blah blah. And here he just plays queen f5. Which is not the best move. I guess the engine says queen h6 or queen f6, just keeping queens on the board would be better for him. But queen f5 still winning for him. And yeah, I took the queen, he took the queen, and here I played a knight d4. Now here is when I realized. Here is when I realized that I was down a pawn. And I'm gonna tell another story because this is true and it's so funny. So here we traded queens and I was like, okay, this equal probably, I mean, equal pawns. And then I started thinking, what? Wait, this doesn't look like equal pawns. I started counting. I started counting like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I was, what? Bro, there's no way. How? And I was like, how am I down a pawn? This doesn't make any sense. Like, what happened? And I started like spending minutes and minutes just trying to go through the whole game back in my mind, seeing where I lost the pawn, and I couldn't see it. And then I asked for his paper. Can I see your paper? Stuff like that. And he's like, sure. I took his paper and I saw like knight takes e4. And I was like, knight takes e4. I looked at mine and said knight e4, and I was like, knight takes e4. And I was like, oh my god, that's when I went to the bathroom. oh, he took the pawn. There was a pawn there. I was like so shocked. I was like, oh my god. And I just spent like 20 minutes just being like, oh my god, what is this, bro? No way, not like this. And I just had to come to the conclusion. To this position, I was done a pawn in a endgame, and I had two decisions to make. I would either fight for the draw, or I would just resign and accept that I just made one of the most stupid mistakes I've ever made, honestly, during a game. But I decided for the first option. I just decided to keep on fighting. He traded the knights. I played rook d4. I played rook e5. I played rook d1, rook a d1. He played king f7. I played c4. I was just like, I mean, just go all in, just try to create some imbalances, some chances. Try to infiltrate the rooks, maybe get some perpetuals, maybe get some pawns off the board. Just creating something. Playing active. He went king e6. I took. He took, and I played b4. Okay, I have the potential of a passed pawn. I have a and b pawn versus a pawn. Maybe like his extra pawn is like on d5. I guess. I mean, I'm blockading it, so maybe like his king is way more active than mine though. But I was like, maybe I can draw this. The computer says it's minus 1.6, so it's not that easy to convert this. It still have to show good technique, right? He went rook c8. I went to b5, trying to create a passed pawn. He went rook c2, with the idea probably of just going rook f5, putting a lot of pressure on f2. Of course, I want to keep rooks on the board, pieces on the board. I'm down a pawn, so I want to keep it as complicated as I can. So I just played rook b4, uh, getting my rook behind my pawns and possibly behind my passed pawn. He went rook f5 here, and I had like decisions to make. Um, I would either like defend the pawn on f2, or I would just go all in, ignore his threats, and just push my pawns. And that's what I did. I was like, I'm going all in. I'm gonna push, and yeah, here the only move to keep the advantage for black is what he did. I takes b6. I took with check. He went to rook e5, and here I played rook b5. So I'm being annoying, and that's what I want. I want to make this as hard as I can for him. And even though he had more time on the clock, you could feel that he was still not sure about his position. I felt like he was spending a lot of time trying to be careful, not plunder away his advantage, and I was kind of feeling excited, because I was kind of feeling myself here. King d6, a5. So I was like, okay, let's start pushing the pawn. Let's start, like, if I can somehow distract him with the a pawn, and I can pick up other pawns and just simplify the position and still be down a pawn, but with chances, maybe. I was trying to complicate it as much as I could. And he played rook c5, so he started like, and this is like bad move. According to the engine, just says push the pawns, or play king c6, or push h5, g4, ignore the a pawn, but he wanted to trade rook, so now it's getting closer to a draw. Now, I mean, it's minus 8, minus 0.8, so making progress here. Minus 0.8, minus 6, 0.6. The engine, it's complicated. These endgames are always complicated. So yeah, let's see how it went. So I went rook b1. He traded. We traded rooks. So okay, the position is simplified, but let's see how the game proceeded. He went king c6. I went rook b6 check, and here he went king c7. And here, I mean, the engine already says that it's pretty much equal. After I play rook e6, I think rook e6 didn't cross my mind. I don't. Yeah, I don't know why, but we were kind of low on time. I think both of us were. I think both of us at this point were below 10 minutes for sure, and for me that's already a long time. Um, so I went rook b5, which is not the best move honestly. As I said, rook e6 was the move. To draw here, you went g6, which is also like bad move. Apparently a6, um, it's pretty good. I didn't play a6 or g4 draws apparently. Rook b4 is also not bad, but I went. Oh, I went a6. What? Okay, sorry, I went a6. So I went for the best move. Nice, good job, Rick. You went d4 and oh d. You went d4 exactly, and here the move would be either rook b4 or a7. And I thought that on a7 he had rook f8, and I thought this was pretty good for him, so I didn't want to go for this. But I actually, with a7 and rook f8, I accomplished what I wanted. I distracted him with the a pawn, and now I can go and play rook d5 or rook e5. I think, yeah, I mean, yeah, this is complicated because I thought that maybe if I played rook d5, you would have, I don't know, like d3. You know, if I play here, he plays here. If I play here, like I don't know. I don't know. Complicated position. I thought that it maybe could come with the king on time because like if I take here, I lose. Oh no, because I can always. It's complicated, bro. Like, oh, do I not lose because of? Oh, here? No, here. Oh, and if he takes like, oh my god, bro, like, god damn, bro. Yeah, I wasn't really sure about that. This is why you have to study your endgames to be sure of yourself in this type of endgames. Like, and yeah, I played rook b7 check almost immediately, and this is losing apparently with rook c6. With king c6 is losing, but with king c8 is drawn again. Like, dude, rook endgames are so amazing because they are so complex and, bro, so valuable to know them, honestly. Um, I went rook takes h7, and here, you know, uh, apparently rook h7 still draws. Like, this is crazy, but let's see how it went. So, rook a5, and here I had to play king f1. Had to play king f1, pretty much only move to stay in the game. Not quite sure what I. If I played king f1, what about rook h1 here? And what? Doesn't he have like d3 here? King e3? I guess not. Can't really push this. What do I. What does he play here? Can't he play like this? Oh, I push a7. And he has to. Oh man, now. Okay, now I'm getting an advantage here. Okay, this is very complicated. Yeah, I didn't see king f1. So I went a7, which is losing after the. After. No. After d3 is losing, a7. But he went rook a1, which draws. I mean, so many blunders by both of us, man. Jesus. King h2 and here d3. And the only move for me is king g3. How is this fine? d2. What? Oh, what? Rook h1? Oh, bro, rook h1. What? a8 also works? Queen takes h1. What about a2? Rook d1? Oh my god. What about. Oh, oh my god, okay, this is like, oh my god, I'm starting to fall in love with Rook Endgames, honestly, because they are so complicated and they are so fun to analyze, honestly. Wow, that is crazy. I didn't find King G3, I played Rook H8 check, which is losing. Now it's definitely losing after Rook D8, King takes A7, I played G3, and here the fantastic move, the only move that wins, and I of course didn't see this in my calculations, G5. Do not let my king get to the E4 pawn, and this is critical, and G5 just wins the game beautifully, beautifully. I tried F3, E3, Rook takes E3, E2, and just I'm not gonna show you the rest. I didn't resign immediately because I still struggle with in the moment to accept the loss when I feel like a chance and stuff like that. It's sometimes it's kind of hard to resign, but yeah. What a game. What a crazy Rook endgame, bro. Wow, dude. And yeah, I didn't analyze. I analyzed briefly this game before when I was putting it in the computer, but I definitely, this was the first time that I tried to look at it better. But I was making this video, but I'll definitely look at it while studying Rook endgames. I'll try to go and replay it again and again and again and really try to figure out why this draws, why this doesn't draw, like the ideas, the main points. And dude, like, Rook endgames, bro. Let's go, bro. So valuable. You get to play Rook endgames so much. At least in my games, I get to play Rook endgames so much, and it's, bro, just really try to learn it. But yeah, wow, what an amazing game. I ended up losing, but tough game, and I really put a lot of resistance and fight against this dude, against this strong player, so I'm very happy for that. The last time that I played like a guy, the only time that I played again against a guy like 2000 above, I got completely destroyed. I'll probably leave it at the end of this video on the screen, that video, if you want, if you haven't checked that video already, if you want to see me get completely destroyed by 2000, you can see that game. But yeah, what a nice game. But as I said before in the last video, this will be my last video before I go into the tournament tomorrow. So yeah, expect me to start uploading again maybe like 2 weeks from now, or 10 days, maybe 2 weeks, 10 days. It depends on how I come from the tournament. If I'm super exhausted or not, probably I will, but who knows. But yeah, exciting games coming, guys. I can promise you that these tournaments have been insane, full of epic games. And make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more. It was a pleasure to be with you and show you this game. Take care. Bye bye.